Hello everyone, I'm Paul and today we're solving problem 1386, Cinema Seat Allocation. This is a medium problem and the key to solve it is observation, so next I will show you my thought process and efficient solution. There is a cinema with n rows of seats where each row has 10 seats, and some of these seats are reserved, so we are given two variables. N corresponds to the number of rows and reserved seats is a 2D array where each element is an array with two values. The first one is the row and the second one the seat or the column of the seat that's reserved. For example, here we are looking at 1, 2, which means that this seat is reserved. Our job is to get the maximum number of 4-person groups that we can assign following these three patterns. So let's start with this one. In any row we can take the seats 2, 3, 4 and 5, meaning these 4 seats. If we don't have any reservations in this range, we can take this group. The second group corresponds to the seats 4, 5, 6 and 7, meaning these 4. And the final group corresponds to the seats 6, 7, 8 and 9. So if we have an empty row, we can't take this group, for example, because seats 1, 2, 3 and 4 are not part of any of these three blocks. We have to stick to these three patterns. So if we're given this input, here we have 3 rows, these are the reserved seats and this is the corresponding drawing. If we look at row number 1, we can place this block. The seats are 4, 5, 6 and 7. These two are reserved and this is reserved. If we look at row 2, we can place this block only because this is reserved. And if we look at row 3, we can place this block and this block. So what's the maximum number of blocks that we can place? In this scenario, it's 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, meaning 4. So maybe you're thinking about building this grid using some character for reserved seats and then iterating the corresponding columns in chunks of 4 corresponding to the blocks that we have to use in order to get the final result. This is technically correct, but here we have the constraints and the problem is that we can have up to 10 to the power of 9 rows, and this is a huge number. Even if we iterate this in big O of n time complexity, it's too much. We have to think about something else. The key to solve the problem is right here. The number of reserved seats is the minimum between 10 times 10 and 10 to the power of 4. So this is bounded by 10 to the power of 4, and this is a relatively small number. We can iterate every reserved seat. So my thought process was the following. Maybe we can forget about n for a moment and focus on reserved seats. So we can build a map where keys are unique rows here and values are arrays with columns for every row. And now we can fill this. So we iterate elements one by one starting from this array. Here the row is 1, the column is 2, so we add 1 as a key, and for the value we have an array with 2. Next we are here, the row is 1, the column is 3, so here we put a 3. Next we have 1, 8, so here we add 8. Next we have 2, 6, so we add 2 as a key. For the value we have an array with 6. Next we have 3, 1, so we add 3. The value is an array with 1. And finally we have 3, 10, so here we add a 10. And once we have this map, we can iterate the unique rows in these reserved seats. Remember that we don't care about empty rows yet, we are handling this for now. So we are iterating these 3 rows, we start from 1, which means that we are looking at this scenario. We only have 10 columns every time, so we can run 3 for loops. One goes from 2 to 5, the other one goes from 5 to 7, the other one goes from 6 to 9, okay? This will run in overall big O of 1 time complexity. So we will say that the block to the left is block number 1, the block in the middle is block number 2, and the last block is block number 3. And we will check which of these blocks are valid. So we will have 3 variables, valid 1, valid 2, and valid 3. Let's start with block 1. We can iterate these 4 elements and check if all the seats are available. Given that we have a 2 in this array, we end the loop now and this is a 0, which means that this block is not valid. Next we continue with block 2, so we iterate these 4 elements and we don't have any of these columns in this array, which means that this is a valid block, so the result here is 1. And For block number 3, we are iterating these 4 elements. We have an 8 right here, so this is not a valid block and this is a 0. Why are we doing this? Why don't we just add the corresponding blocks to the final result? Well, you can see why in this third block we can't overlap blocks. For example, here we could technically take the block in the middle, but if we do this, we can't take any of these 2 blocks. Given that 2 is larger than 1, we should take these 2 blocks instead, which is exactly what we are doing. So we have these 3 variables, and every time we will keep the maximum between the result of the middle, meaning 1 in this scenario, and the other 2 results, 0 plus 0. The maximum between 1 and 0 is 1, which means that in this scenario we should take the block in the middle. So we add this to the result. Now we can continue with row number 2. We iterate block number 1, meaning these 4 columns. We don't have any of these in this array, so the result here is 1. For block number 2, we iterate these 4 columns and we have this seed here in the array, so the result here is 0. And for the last block, we iterate these 4 columns. We have 6 in the array, so the result here is 0. What do we add to the result? Well, the maximum between the block of the middle, meaning 0, and the blocks to left and right. 1 plus 0 is 1. The maximum here is 1, so we add 1 to the result, and this is 2. Now we can iterate the last row. So for block number 1, we go from 2 to 5. We don't have any of these indices in this array, so the result here is 1. Next, from 4 to 7, we don't have any of these indices in this array, so the result here is 1. And next, if we go from 6 to 9, we don't have any of these indices in this array neither, so the result is 1. So what do we add to the result? Well, the maximum between the block of the middle, 1, and the 2 other blocks. 1 plus 1 is 2. Here the result is 2, so we put this in the result, and the new result is 4. Now we have already iterated the 3 rows that we have in reserved seats, and 3 is equal to n, so at this point we can return 4. But remember that n can be of up to 10 to the power of 9. So if this is a huge number, for example 10 to the power of 9, what do we do now? Now let's say that n is equal to 10 and we have the same to the array. We know that after handling rows for these reserved seats, the result is equal to 4. But how do we handle the 7 empty rows? Because we have 10 rows in total, and rows for reserved seats are 3. 10 minus 3 is equal to 7, so how do we handle these 7 empty rows? Well, remember what we did here in row 3. We basically have 2 choices. We can take either this block in the middle or these 2 blocks. If we are trying to maximize the result, we should take 2 blocks per row, which means that the final result is 4 plus 2 times the number of empty rows, 7. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 4 is 18, so here we return 18. So once again, the key to solve this problem is here in the constraints. We can iterate up to 10 to the power of 4 reserved seats and solve remaining rows with math. Overall time and space complexity here is big O of R, where R is the number of reserved seats. We are iterating every element here, and we need space for the corresponding map. So with this in mind, now let's go with the code. First, we can say that the result is 0. We have a map, which is a default dictionary with a default value of an empty array for every key. Now we can say for every row and column in reserved seats, map at row -1 dot append column -1. Remember that these are 1 indexed values, so we are subtracting 1 from each of these, and after doing this we can say that the number of rows that we have already seen is initially 0, and for every key in the map seen R plus equal 1. This will be useful for the final math. After doing this, we have to iterate 3 blocks. There are different ways to do this, but I think that this is reasonably intuitive. We can say that the first block corresponds to the range from 1 to 5. So we are checking if we don't have the current index in the corresponding array for every index in the range from 1 to 5. For block number 2, we go from 3 to 7, and for the last one, we go from 5 to 9. After doing this, we can add to the result the maximum between the result of the middle, valid 2, and the results of the two sides, valid 1 plus valid 3, okay? And down here, after the for loop, we can return the result, but we still need to handle empty rows. So here we add the total number of rows minus the number of rows that we have already seen times 2. Remember that we add 2 blocks per row. So let's submit this and see if it works. As you can see, this works and it's efficient. Maybe you can make the code slightly more efficient, but this is already efficient in terms of time complexity, and I think that this is reasonably intuitive too. So if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.